the skies than at the highest location of the... Well, refereeing royalty with us this afternoon, a special moment for South African Amy Barrett-Theron, who reaches her 50th international test match as referee, a wonderful role model who'll want nothing more than to be a footnote in today's proceedings. 15 matches over 5 weekends as we see the first touch on the ball for the new fullback. No Morgane Bourgeois, one of the travelling reserves, but it's Pauline Barra who made the first impact. And there's the first penalty of the game, going the way of the Italians, as Léa Moury got isolated.
Yeah, and they've got to be careful of that, haven't they? Italy are quick to pounce on the turnover. They showed that last year. They won't want France to have any kind of platform, and making a call early there from the referee. She wants a clean game, tidy game, also a flowing game.
Was an encounter that at the 77th minute last week, we've talked about this off air before we came in, didn't we, Kath? But it was a one-point game at that juncture. Be an aspect that Italy are all too aware of. We talk about needing an 80-minute performance. Well, they were only 3 minutes shy of it. Nearly getting the upset at home. This will be a different kettle of fish, but this is them on the rampage. Alia Bitonci, Valsugana Rugby Padova scrum half, looking to try and keep the tempo go. Moscow-born. And she will be the one that gives them the zip. The experienced Sophia Stefan on the bench will be called on later. Spoke to Silvia Turani this week, who said Stefan is one of those that when she is on the field makes everybody play better, but they know that she's more of a finisher these days with her 101 caps, the centurion for Italy. But it's Bitonci to Medea, a little bit more depth on it. Muzzo, oh, and that's nice linking wing to wing. Ostuni Minuzzi putting the grubber through. And France under all sorts of pressure. Pressure's been the buzzword from new head coach Francois Ratier. Said what he believes the difference needs to be for France is how they cope with technical skill under pressure, getting better at adding a little bit of structure. Bourdon Sans-Souci clears the lines. He talks, Catherine Spencer, about how structure brings freedom.
Yeah, absolutely. He doesn't want to take that freedom away, Nick. He wants that personality. He wants that flair. He wants that heads-up rugby when it's appropriate. He wants to bring in that clinical edge, which I think we've all been considering has been missing from this French team over the last few years.
Italy will be happy enough with this line-out position. Giordano. Good competition, but it won't be deemed that it came off an Italian hand or a French hand. Indeed, it's going to be Italy's line-out once again, but Giordano will be very conscious of the competition coming in the air.
She will, and Bourdon Sans-Souci showing her intent, trying to get the quick line-out, but obviously went back for the knock-on.
Vittoria Vicchini. Dummy the same call. In fact, it goes over the top. It was, I think, an overthrow, but Alessia Pilani was there to tidy it up. And then Giordano, the skipper, gets onto it. 79th cap today for Elisa Giordano. Oh, it's been well ripped in the tackle, though. And that's worked nicely. Chance for Armed Moyembe to make a quick decision. And then it's sent off downfield, and the crowd love it, but it's just into the hands of Vittorio Ostuni Minuzzi, who comes up to that France 10-metre line with good intent, making those counter-attack meters. Medea without centre partner Beatrice Rigoni, as they link well again. Granzotto plays her rugby at Exeter Chiefs in the PWR in England. Turani, another one of those who does so at Harlequins. Then the carry from Vicchini in the loose this time. It's a big clear out on Gabby Vernier, was it? Home fans don't like it. Medea looking for the options, gets on the outside to Dinka. Haven't seen Dinka popping up on the wing in that new centre combination with Sara Manini. The absence of Beatrice Rigoni raising many eyebrows when the Italian squad selection was announced. Bit of tidying up work needed on the outside by Elisa Ranuccini. But this is good continuity from the visitors.
Yeah, they'll be pleased with this, won't they? Bertonci working really hard in that 9 position to keep this ball moving. She doesn't want it stuck in that breakdown for long at all. And they're building the phases now really well, keeping hold of that possession.
Yeah, nicely worked, Nannini. Sensible decision to carry. Madia, good work round the outside. That's nice. Mutso had to be nailed in the tackle and was, in no uncertain terms, by Asia Kalfawi. Madia stepping back from where it came. Nothing too much opening itself up that time. They have been crossing the gain line. Just slows down a little bit for Bertonci now. This is often the moment where Italian teams of old would perhaps get frustrated, bored that nothing's coming, try something high risk. Fabio Roselli wants to try and see a little bit more of the composure, see them trust in the process, be patient. Bertonci trying to highlight there that Bourdon Sansus was on the wrong side, but Amy Barrett-Theron was not born yesterday. French defence is coming up.
They are. They're not putting anyone in the breakdown, are they? Just the tackler. So Italy having to really work hard. They're kind of flooding this right side to force that defence to move over and hope then that the space will be there when they swing it back. A loose pass there, not helping.
Oh, wow, Amy Barrett-Theron deems it's gone forwards as well, and the handling in the backfield from Dinka onto Ostuni Minuzzi. And so the French fans, patient with the defensive effort, will applaud the fact that they now have a bit of possession.
Yeah, definitely very patient from France, wasn't it? Defence was very composed. They weren't flying up, but they were absolutely solid, not really giving Italy a lot of space. Italy can take away their retention of possession, you know, and that'll build through the game.
See the statistic on screen, just then France finishing second in the Guinness Women's Six Nations. Every championship since 2020. Now, there's a bit of a conversation just going on down on the touchline. We're all with Amy Barrett-Theron in wanting to establish what's the moment for the stop. I think Gabby Vernier is being led from the field of play, perhaps an HIA check. Amy Barrett-Theron is having to come over to the sideline to get so we seem to have a communication error because our TMO Quinton Immelman has had to dial down to the touchline.
Yeah, she was involved in a big collision, wasn't she, there? And
Amy Barrett-Theron is now hearing Quinton Immelman. So clearly it's Alessia Pilani who is being looked at.
what she's interested in now also is whether there's any kind of bind as well from Pilani, which would become a slight mitigating factor.
Clearly plenty of the French fans have their say on it. There is detail here to be looked at. Amy Barrett-Theron is in conversation with Quinton Immelman. So the formal review ongoing. I think we've just still got a bit of communication error, and we're hoping indeed to be able to bring you Quinton Immelman at home as well. Seems a little bit of confusion between our officiating team at the minute, but it is going to be down to where that contact is. Obviously, the speed of the infringement will decide, as far as Amy Barrett-Theron is concerned, as to how calculated the contact was and what the level of penalty will be. It seems they haven't actually reached agreement on a decision yet here. Well, this is a bit of a mess, Kath Spencer.
It is a bit, isn't it? Amy Barrett-Theron has been quite clear. She wants to know if there's been that wrap, and that will bring the punishment level down. There has been contact on the head. That's why they're looking at it so closely.
Well, we got there in the end.
We got there in the end. Yellow card with the bunker review, so it could potentially be upgraded to a red card. I think that wrap means that it will be mitigated and will stay as a yellow card.
So, France have the penalty. Italy down to 14. And on we go. It will be off for bunker review. So it's at the very least a yellow. Further work for the foul play review officer, Finlay Brown, to get on with. But in the meantime, it's France with possession. We haven't had too much of that so far in this encounter. That was intricately worked. That was nice. That's a slightly high and riding tackle that Italy will need to be wary of. Mathilde Lazarco, oh, it's knocked forwards on the carry. Just up on the shoulder, you could see Kalfaoui signalling. Needed it more where it matters.
Yeah, it needs to be really, really secure, that ball, doesn't it? But they did look sharp before that, Nick. I like the interplay between the backs. Busso's come on in direct replacement at the moment of Vernier. Distributed really well in that passage. Rousset.
Yeah, 23-year-old Aubin Rousset. Stade Bordelais has come on for a Six Nations debut, but now, of course, because Italy are down a prop and we've got to scrum time, it's time for Gaia Maris to come on and join the action. And the player in the backfield that'll have to make way is Francesca Granzotto. So Italy remain on 14 due to the yellow card while that is being reviewed. Italy possession after the handling error. It's been a stop-start, 7-8 minutes. We haven't really got going at the Stade des Alpes, have we?
It has a little bit, but Amy Barrett-Theron using all her 50 caps of experience then, staying very calm, very composed until she got the specific answer that she wanted. That was impressive from her.
Giordano picks from the base, feels it to Bitonci. It's going to be the long one out wide for Ostuni Minuzzi. Bearing in mind they had a winger less. They did well to find the space there, Italy, but You imagine that France are going to try and capitalise down this left side where there is no right winger and no Granzotto, as Berthoumieux makes the carry for France. Bourdon-Sansus plays to Arbez, then it's Rousset popping up in the middle. Falraclo, uncompromising as ever. A boot is sent flying out the back. Then Arbez a little bit lower that time for Léa Moury to take. Back in the French side after a spell out. And no wonder with 7 tries in the Elite 1. But the Italian defence doing the job again. And it's turnover time. And France from one side of the field to the other. But just not quite getting through.
Yeah, couldn't capitalise on that, could they? Holding onto the ball in possession didn't allow that fair contest for Italy. And that's why they've been awarded the penalty.
Valeria Fadrighi getting in there.
Great carry there. Doing a job, getting the go forward, and then they can set that platform for their backs.
Well, Italy once again into the France 22. Doing it all down a player. France will rue not making more meterage with the ball in hand moments they've had. That's a poor overthrow, though, at line-out time from Vecchini. Just set up the opportunity for France to go. Arbez, she dummies the kick, and Rousset will play link player again, and France will get going. Pauline Barra. Oh, is that turnover? It's been knocked on the floor. Just some nervy moments from France getting their era under François Ratier going.
They are Italy winning the possession, winning the territory, winning the turnovers at the moment. But those French backs were ready, weren't they? They pounced on that overthrow and that mistake from the line out, going a bit too high, reacted really, really well, and the backs worked hard off the ball to get over to that left-hand side.
Italy with the scrum. Just a little word being had there from Fadrighi to Bitonci. Of course, retiring from the Italian side over the last 6 months. Isabella Locatelli, Ilaria Arrighetti, Sara Tunesi. Bea Rigoni not selected. I understand that part of the reason for that is they want Rigoni to show a little bit more as to how to link from forwards to backs. Had an injury as she was looking for an opportunity to prove that at club with Sale Sharks in England. Just hasn't had enough match minutes to show she's really developed that. And so under the eyes of Fabio Roselli, not quite ready to take it on. It's a lovely chip over the middle for Dinka to chase. Oh, well, snatched out of the air to spare the blushes from Anaïs Grandot, debutant who plays at Clermont. It'll be Clermont-Ferrand where we go for that round 3 match, France against Ireland. What a moment that'll be, the rematch of that World Cup quarter-final. Irish fans out there wondering still how on earth they let that one slip away. Medea in the backfield. Bitonci, replacement Gaia Maris. Good carry. Tirani, and the hands to keep it alive on the outside. That was Duca. Bitonci, they're still continuing to go the same way. And Lisa Ranuccini then with the latest carry. Then Fadrighi once again. Both of these sides just struggling to find the real punch through. Medea opts to put it in the air again. It's a good hustle. It's good movement in the backfield to avoid the ball finding grass. Barra did well, sent it down. Medea had a lot of time. And Arbez will field. Broken picture. How the French love that opportunity to attack as Arbez on her 17th cap takes it up. Kept alive by Lazarco, on for Kalfaoui. The front rowers working nicely in the loose. And then Wayembe, well, that's not quite the service that they might have liked as another stray boot is on the floor. Arbez claims it on the floor. Stays there. Bit of protection given from Barra. Now, have they got a 3-on-2 here that they could possibly work? Champon. Came off the Italians. Bourdon-Sansus. Sniping, as you would expect. Rousset gets in to send it along. Wayembe with the carry. looking to stay alive in contact. Bourdon sans sus. Arbez. Domi on the outside. Arbez nearly managing to get through. Barra once more. Haven't seen too much in the hands of Johanna Grisez yet. We know how fast she is. That's loose again from the French. Haven't had the indication from the referee. I think that was. There we go. Advantage over. France having had a decent spell of possession since the Italian knock-on. They are still very much around their own 10-metre line.
They are. We spoke about this clinical edge, didn't we, before the game? We haven't quite seen it yet. Perhaps the first few opening round nerves, maybe.
Long bursting in terms of the Italian defence, though. And the French will now try and capitalise down that right-hand side. It sits up. Bitonci in the backfield. Two French players breathing down her neck from inside the 22. Bitonci with a safe enough clearance. No, I think we may have the reverse of that HAA replacement. Gabby Vernier returns to the field, and Aubin Rousset has had a few precious Guinness Women's Six Nations minutes and may get a few a little later.
Sure she will. Vernier is a key player, isn't she, for France, with that young back three, and then Grisez coming into 13, not her normal position. Vernier, we know what she can do all around the pitch, but she's going to step up and be that leader today. Will have to be. Take up that defensive line, be that defensive leader.
Top for turnovers at Rugby World Cup 2025, Gabby Vernier, 11 all in all. Now we're just getting news of the bunker review. So it's remaining a yellow. So we will see the reintroduction of Alessia Pilani in a few minutes. So far.
Yeah, absolutely right call, I think, with that yellow, with the mitigating the wraparound on the arm.
The number advantage not telling yet, but now it's Vernier. Went over the shoulder, not the easiest take. That's a lovely pass, and that is some space for Léa Moury to work in. Cover defence from Dinker was strong. France with possession again. Italy trying to hold them up here and take them out into touch. Defence has worked nicely for them, but that was lovely service from Barra. Out to the wing, confirmation on screen then. Alessia Pilani. Yellow card.
Yeah, it was a lovely ball out here, wasn't it? But as you say, excellent cover across in defence, and then the backs tried to have a little bit more, didn't really work.
Italy under pressure, defensive line out. About 3 minutes left on that yellow card. Bitonci goes digging. A little bit of pressure from Kyra Zago. We're certainly beginning to see plenty of Pauline Barra. On debut, the fullback from Stade Toulousain. She was the MVP in the Women's Summer Series last year. Now getting that full tilt. That is Vernier, stepping back in, but that's a super hit in midfield. Barra inviting the defenders to come in, and then finds Vernier. Offload game from Vernier. Again, it's another one that didn't quite go to hand, but backwards it goes. Kalfaoui winds up the big one and then thinks, what am I doing? I'm a prop, I'll carry a metre or two. Oh, coughed up from Berthoumieux, then sent away from Giordano. Medea. Oh, it's the big whisker! Big blow on the whistle, though, from Amy Barrett-Theron. Johanna Grisez may be celebrating the score. It's not going to be the try. Well, even the whole stadium are continuing to celebrate. We've had the announcements and the music, but someone's going to have to record scratch it off, Kat Spencer.
It was, yeah, the montages of the great, the great tries that weren't tries. She did really well, didn't she, to get her hands on that ball.
Lovely work from Barra, though. Goodness.
Okay, thanks you.
Clear box of tricks.
Is someone injured or is it just water? Is someone...
Recognition from Amy Barrett-Theron that we don't need the game slowed down with extra opportunities for hydration. So the reverse of the yellow card. Alessia Pilani rejoins us. Gaia Maris can leave the field and Francesca Caranzotto can retake her place on the wing. We are as you were.
And Italy will be pleased, didn't concede any points in that yellow card time.
Still scoreless after 17 minutes. Fabio Roselli talking about how much he wanted Italy to have a solid start. Well, they've certainly had it defensively.
Their work rate is phenomenal. That Italian back row work rate is phenomenal.
Says a lot about the possession so far, that it's actually France who've made nearly 50 tackles. There's Rosselli. Watches on. He'll turn 55 on Monday. Early happy birthday. 20 of his players play in France. There are 4 Italians playing in England. More in France than they've ever been, incidentally. Likes of Elisa Dinka, who joined Blagnac this season. Ranuccini joined Lyon this season. Pilani joining Stade Bordelais this season. More of them getting the chance to play at the higher level and also call a number of this French squad their club mates. Ball fed from Bitonci to Turani. Had some attention a couple of moments ago. This will go in the air. Oh, it was nicely tapped back. That was well done by Giordana Duca. And it's still with Italy. They get the meterage gain, but then the immediate turnover. It's Pauline Barra.
Holding on, and that was a better box kick from Bitonci. The one previously had just been a little bit too long, didn't allow for a contest. It's such a shame they didn't capitalise on that good kick.
It's a good tap down, but look at that, Pauline Barra. She's everywhere, carrying, stepping, and jackling. France with the catch and drive, more of the stuff that we're used to seeing. Kira Zago, the one who brings it down, now rejoins the back of the maul as they look to try and get that engagement and go forward. Italy stop it, Vernier, then it's there for Grise. Quick ball again, Bourdon Sansu through Arbez. The chance to run this into the corner on debut. It's Anaïs Grondeau. Well, finally invited into the Italian 22. And the French back line with the quick ball that we know they can cause so many problems with. And on debut, it's Grondeau with the game's opening try.
What a way to mark first cap, Nick. Absolutely fantastic. Lovely space for her out wide. You know, we spoke a lot about this back line, but that came actually from a fantastic platform from the French forwards. There have been a few errors creeping into this game, perhaps bringing in that structure that we talk about. Lovely move from the French forwards, which allowed the platform, allowed the space for those French backs, and Grondeau, what a prize on her first cap. She will remember that forever.
Carla Arbez. That one is not quite going to get there. So just 5 points, but it was the speed of the ball that came out from Arbez and Bourdon Sansus, and then pedal to the metal from Grondeau. He's got 7 tries in the Elite 1 this season. That's the sort of form that Francois Ratier wants to show all of the players he will reward. So the likes of Emily Boulard and others may just have moments to question how hard they're working. That's what he wants in order to drive higher standards from this French team.
And the weapon of that pace out wide. But we say that, but also, you know, the likes of Barat has come into the game so well and worked really hard in those close contact areas. They've got the full game, haven't they?
Yeah, extraordinary. Barat, 21 years of age. She's looking incredibly accomplished on the international scene already. 5-0 to France then. Can be a bit of a tale of the Italians in the Women's Six Nations. A lot of huff and puff, but not quite turning it into points. They weathered that yellow card spell, but then conceded when they were back to 15. There's Grisez again. Bourdon-Sansus. Arbez can't kick it straight into touch from inside the 22, having had it passed back in. Ostouni Minuzzi with these meters. Smuggled it away for Fedrighi. Pilani. Vernier tried to get over that. Duca. Bitonci. Nice from Manini, the little swerve just to get around the first defender. Bitonci, that slightly quicker ball. Ostouni Minuzzi. France equal to it defensively, not too troubled as yet. Medea. That's nice from Scorbini. Haven't seen too much from her so far. Pilani then gets the call. Manini, Turani. You can see the shape that Italy are trying to play with, and they just avoid the turnover from the French skipper Mané Fellaini, playing on that open side rather than in the second row. Well, there is going to be an advantage here. Let's just listen to Amy Barrett-Theron and how she's going to view this one. Well, Amy Barrett-Theron, I think, just trying to encourage good sportsmanship there, even though she is going to give, by the letter of the law, the penalty that should be due.
Yeah, absolutely. Scrum halves can't kind of on purpose, you know, aim to pass towards the offside player. As you say, it's just not kind of like part of the values of the sport. But she hasn't turned it over, just given a warning. You say, Nick, you haven't seen much of Scorbini yet. I'd like to see, Scorbini, Giordano, Rannicini. That back row for Italy is so influential and could really, really kind of help to turn this for Italy and get them moving up the pitch again. You know, they started off with good possession territory. France have just used it more effectively so far.
Most meters so far have been made by Vittoria Vicchini outside of Ostouni Minuzzi in the game. Just having a little look at the stats sheet in front of us. And it is Vicchini who then takes it on again with the carry. Italy now getting as close to that French line as they've managed all game. Giordano with the carry. Vicchini waits. France go in and certainly look more interested at competing at the breakdown now, certainly with a few meters to their own line. Barrett-Theron saying arrive up. She doesn't want players going off their feet to try and secure it. They go a little wider to Manini, and on the way to the ground, Sarah Manini just nudging the ball forwards. France defensive effort. Feel pretty pleased with that.
Good pressure from Champon, French number 8. The pressure in the contact, forcing that error from Manini. So important is those kind of like skill. We might call them basic skills. They're not basic at the time, aren't they? But keeping hold of that ball in contact, so important. You'd have the likes of Graham Smith rolling his eyes at that.
In from Bourdon-Sansus, away from Léa Champon, and the clearance from the Stade Toulousain scrum half will allow France to breathe again.
France have looked very composed, haven't they, when they've been exiting their 22. See if they can put pressure on the Italian line out. I like teams to put players up in the line out, Nick.
Here's a look at those tackle stats. Lazarko leading the way for France, 14 already. Putting herself about.
That is an impressive stat, isn't it? Within 27 minutes gone.
Yeah. That's Rannicini on the ball. Nadia, great campaigner. Look at the distribution from her. Oh, it's really well read though by Vernier, who's tried her own kick through and then pounces on the loose ball as it doesn't quite come off. She won't be shirked by that. Kalfaoui, little low distribution on for Berthoumieux. Foul Raclot. Super carry. And again, France coming forwards. Champon that time. Then Lazarko, the tackle menace. Bourdon-Sansus, now they want to play. Arbez, Vernier, sticking it over the head of Aramuzzo, looking for this in the 22. Will it find the edge? Will it be a 50-22? Goodness me! The execution, exquisite. The advantage for France is here. Amy Barrett-Theron's not going to allow them to go quickly when they're a good 5 metres ahead of where it went out. It was good enough.
It was. That was a beautiful kick, wasn't it, from Vernier? It had to be, because she just redeemed herself from the cut charge down kick previously. There was acres of space back there, wasn't it, behind the Italian defence? Really, really lovely, and what a platform for France now. Let's see what happens. Do you think the forwards are going to take it on, wall it up? It worked previously.
Down from Kira Zago. She was the one last time when they got close, and then it was the back line that finished it off. Just wonder whether Léa Moury will be licking her lips as if this is going to come across to her. Bourdon-Sansus is having a look. Is she going to have the opportunity to bring this out? Have Italy spoiled it? It's there for the French 9. Players lurking round the corner. Feleau gets low, starts to drive. Tirani cleared out of there. Now it's there for Vernier, who gave them this position with the 50-22 kick, and Vernier goes tunnelling towards the line. Bourdon-Sansus, Berthoumieux, twists and turns, can't quite find the line. Now they've got some width. Arbez, it's surely got to be there. Johanna Grisez!
They are rolling now. The crowd, the atmosphere here, Nick, is fantastic. They are cheering their players. I did think for a second perhaps Grisez should have passed it, but her pace, she's got back to that. Lovely line-out take. Italy did do quite well to slow them all, turned it a little bit. Bourdon-Sansus had to go around the other side to get the ball, but the backs, that lovely strong carry from Vernier. We've just seen all the skills from her in the last couple of minutes. And then Grisez didn't need the players outside her. Still had 2 players there if needed. That was a lovely try.
Patient, wasn't it? And decent execution. And can Carla Arbez do similar from the tee? Oh, now, we've got a whistle. Oh, hello. Well, it all looked good from what we saw. Amy Barrett-Theron. Now, I think she signalled that Silvia Tirani needed to perhaps get some attention. Don't know if it's related to that. Let's have a look.
So just have a look at the actions of 2 as they come in front. There's no contact made yet. So we'll play it again for you. That's it. That's now the release. Players come in front. I'm happy with those facts, Amy. Camera's back on you, Amy.
Well, Amy Barrett-Theron is experienced enough that She knows she might not get an extra little bit of vin rouge in her glass at the bar tonight as she celebrates, but what she is doing is applying the laws spot on. And as the class of 1982 watch on proudly with the cockerel on their shirts for the first time, Kath Spencer, describe what that penalty was for.
Yeah, well, firstly, great recognition for the Pioneers. But yeah, in that maul, they came separated from the maul. You need to keep that sort of like shoulder bound on. So the maul had broken up, and then they went back into it. So then that becomes obstruction, and that's why the try was disallowed. You know, good spot from the TMO. Sometimes as rugby fans, we get a bit frustrated when we go back. We've just celebrated an amazing try, you know, but we have to play the laws, don't we? And it was the right call.
Well, there has to be a fair competition for the ball in all environments, and if you bring it down and stay in one maul, well, you can keep going forwards. If you break away and have players in front of the ball, well, all of a sudden that's not fair for the opposition. So that's the reason for the penalty. Loose and over the top. Lazarko will get a hold of it. France will look, no doubt, to try and punish from here as Moyembe makes the carry. Medea went in to try and turn that one over. Perhaps some belligerence from France if they can keep this alive, but that's just gone forwards. For all of the brilliant moments we're seeing from Vernier, I think she's thrown about 3 offloads over the shoulder of her teammates.
She's a bit shorter, maybe she's just compensating a bit too much to get up to their height. I did think that actually, Nick, when we saw the teams arriving, this French team are big. I'm very relieved I don't play anymore.
Yeah, Kath Spencer was basically there like any of us were in our teenage years at school, looking at the opposition getting off the bus, going, "God, they look big." And they did.
They did.
Not short of a bit of ballast in that French pack. Mathilde Lazarko goes down against Vittoria Vicchinis. The Italians have Medea lined up behind this. Granzotta there as well. It's a good shove from the French. Manini then releases out the back. Then the miss pass. Ostini Minuzzi was well tracked. Tackle was good from Grondo, showing defensive qualities as much as finishing abilities for what is the game's only try after the Grise effort was chalked off. Now, Barra. Crossfield sits up. So does Dinker in the end, having lost her footing. Grise. Oh, Albers, I should say. Moyembe. Dummies to Kalfawi. Takes the meters. Fedrighi got in and tried to get over it. Oh, that's a nice one down the middle. The Italians were split at the back, and Vernier is giving chase on Ostini Minuzzi here. This will bounce into in goal. It'll be a goal line dropout to Italy. It's just beginning to pull Italy around and find the spaces to cause a threat.
They're just piling on the pressure now, and they're making that sort of Italian back three, turn round, trying to find those spaces behind. And that ball, if it just kind of popped up a little bit more, the shape of the rugby ball can be trying at times and brilliant in so many other times.
Medea. What's she going to do here? Don't want to give the French the opportunity to run it back from just 20 metres out. Do you want people to compete for it, or do you just whack it as far as you can? This is the chance. Barra. Bourdon-Sans-Souce, Berthoumieux. Quick ball for Bourdon-Sans-Souce. Elisa Dinker spotted her. Oh, and has ripped it. But was she in an onside position? There we go.
Yeah, so she needed to release. It was a fantastic tackle, wasn't it? Fantastic contest. That kind of thing is almost instinctive in a way as a player. It's quite tough. She wouldn't have thought about that too much. She'd just gone for the ball, and she thought she was away then, didn't she?
It's lovely from Elisa Dinker, out there earning a 36th cap, playing at Blagnac alongside the likes of Gabby Vernier. Great take from Kira Zago. Now they shift and get the spin on. Oh, but it's the same again. We've seen this picture now a couple of times from France. And with Quinton Evelman and Amy Barrett-Theron hot to it, they're going to have to evolve this, because it's clearly looking like something they've worked on during the week, but, well, it's illegal as it currently stands.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're trying to get it moving really, really quickly from that line out. You know, when a maul does get moving, it's virtually impossible to defend, really. But what is happening is they're kind of breaking it up, and they're ending up with players in front of the ball. So they need to keep it much tighter, that maul. Keep it in tighter. And don't give Amy Barrett-Theron any reason to go for a whistle.
Oh, that's penalty. Goes against Fal Raclos for putting the arm across. Sarah Manini called upon now from the penalty to give Italy as much meterage up this near touchline as possible. Oh, came off the outside of the boot a little, not giving them too much there. There's the stat on screen. By minute 10, France averaging 27 metres per kick compared to Italy's 23, 15% more territory per kick. Kick metres overall, France 376 to Italy's 287. Giordano swatted at it with the left hand. Got it back for Bitonci to chase, and Medea, and then Manini. Brought down by Bertumieux. Bitonci once more. Good arrival from Duca. Oh, now France beginning to dangerously play Bitonci while on the floor. It's good hands from Medea. They might have some space here. Ranocchini. Oh, it's behind Granzotto. Wide players so keen to come on the ball, so keen to keep up with play. Arguably just too flat, Kath Spencer, making it even harder to actually make that offload on the outside.
Yes, absolutely right. There was a hint of space out there. They had the numbers, didn't they? French were covering, but when you just have to step back and pause your run and hold your run, it's very, very difficult then to keep that attacking flowing.
I'm giving that to Ranocchini, and that Granzotto should have been deeper. That's my assessment of that.
Yeah,
for anyone who cares.
I think that's fair, Nick. She just mistimed her run a little bit, didn't she? Got a bit excited.
Fairly even on the handling errors so far. There it is with Champon, Bodon-Sansus, Arbez, Vernier, back to Arbez. Bitonci was accompanying the French fly half all the way. That looked like a clear out around the neck on Dinka momentarily, but in the meantime France continue, and it's out on the right with Grandot, the try scorer. Arbez again, Vernier. Bertumieux on the outside will now play clear out Merchant. Grisey bounds through one, Manini not able to get onto it. Kalfaoui coming on with a little bit more pace behind it to cross the gain line. Italy competing with plenty of these breakdowns. That's nice from Arbez, couldn't quite get the offload away. Again, Bodon-Sansus has been scragged in possession. Vernier will play scrum half. Fal Raclos happy to be the option, but Fadrighi clings on. Second row on second row. Alele Bleu rings around. Barra. Vernier again deputising. Lazarco. Italy go in to compete. They are going to get that. And Dinka once again. Super from the outside centre.
It's like she's kind of woken up, hasn't she, in the last 5 minutes? I think, right, actually, and looked at the scoreboard, it's only 5-0. I'm not quite sure how. Well, I obviously know how, but it feels like it should be more. Dinka's like, we've got a chance, we've got to get into this game, and she's really, really fired up in the last few minutes. France racking up their penalties conceded at the moment. They're going to have to look at that at half-time. Along with some discussions around that maul. It's
better from Manini, gives them a few more metres as we just see The tackle in, and look at that, clamped right over it. Super from Elisa Dinka.
Really good, great position, wasn't it? On her feet, getting really low, holding her own body weight. Clear penalty.
Italy shortened the line out. Medea. Oh, the lovely little ball inside. That was nicely worked for Muzzo. Oh, but then it's loose, it's gone forwards, and it's in the hands of the French. Moyambe making considerable meterage. Bourdon-Sansus, Kalfaoui couldn't hold it. There won't be sufficient advantage from the first knock-on. And indeed, Amy Barrett-Theron will say that's that for the first 40 minutes. Well, it took a little while to spark in Grenoble. And it's just the one try after Grise's efforts were chalked off. Italy yet to fire a shot, but certainly putting it in defensively. They'll look for the 80-minute performance. They'll look to have more to say in the second half. But at half-time, at the Stade des Alpes, it's France 5, Italy 0. On changes at half-time as well. Gaia Maris, who was called upon for a couple of shifts over that first half with Silvia Turani, I think, leaving the field towards the end of that first half after a clear out. And of course we had Alessia Pirani, who was in the sin bin. Veronica Medea over the ball then as Italy get the second half underway. A slightly curious first 40 in Grenoble, or that might just come down perfectly on the 10-metre line, and it's just going to bounce up between the knees of Giordana Duca and Scorbini. Well hit by Moyambe. And we're off. Menini, dummies on the outside. comes back in field. Low one for Vicchini to take. Bitonci, short side again. Big hit on Rannicini after Ostuni Manuzzi was hoping to put her open side into a little bit more space, and Medea was thinking about what she was going to do with the ball before perhaps securing possession. Welcome back to the second half. Former England captain Kath Spencer.
Bit of a kind of a bright start from Italy, and then we've kind of got that up and down again, didn't we? What a perfect kick right on that 10-metre line. Bit awkward to keep hold of to start with, and then Vicchini did really well with that ball. It was very low pass, not quite in the breadbasket, but she got her hands on it, kept hold to it. But yeah, a few kind of eyes up there. Let's see if these kind of nerves settle down in the second half.
Matilda Lazarco is just down, getting a bit of attention. Not surprised. 17 tackles in the first half for the debutant hooker.
Incredible start.
She's also, Lazarco, the top try scorer in the Elite 1. 13 tries over the course of the season. Might suggest why France are looking for that catch and drive maul option from line out to try and send Lazarco over for the score, but penalised a couple of times in terms of obstruction as Francois Ratier watches on. He's brought in Gerald Bastide, Florent Visserec into his coaching team. It's just down below us while Lazarco gets some treatment, well, she's going to be fully mummified in a minute if this keeps going. Elisa Rifono waiting down below us, and Fabio Rosselli.
I think towards the end of that first half, Nick, we saw the likes of Fal Raklo, Moyembe, Kalfui really kind of building into the game, warming up into the game, taking more of those really, really strong, powerful carries. I love watching Fal Raklo take that ball on. She's so strong, she's so powerful, and the team can play off that and they can unleash that into the back. So I feel like that's just going to build through this half.
Yeah, Italy will certainly have taken a look at the scoreboard, having conceded the try. France with 3 entries to the 22, 1 try, 1 disallowed. Italy 3 entries to the 22, no points. They weathered a spell down to 14 players. Bourdon-Sansus in at scrum time. Champon will control. And she's going to go short side all on her own. Bourdon-Sansus. Support play getting in there just in time. They knew the drill. Lazarco, that's loose behind Kalfaoui. Oh, Bez was there to tidy it up. And then the skipper, Felayou, will play it. Fal Raklo the carry. Outside Lazarco to Felayou. No Sister Teani, who is out injured currently. Miss pass, that's nice to find Zago loitering on the wing. Dinka nearly getting in for the turnover once again that we saw one of towards the end of that first half. Felayou again. Wonder what the words were from Ratier and co at half-time as Rannicini puts the tackle in on Vernier. A couple of beautiful, skillful moments from Vernier first half. Also a couple of offloads to forget the mixed bag. Looks slightly forwards, but we play on anyway. Bourdon-Sansus feeding the speed. Kalfaoui just slowly making meters here, continuing to get upfield. Popped up off the floor. Lazarco quickly to Arbez. Then Barra. Then Moyembe. Moyembe pushes away at Madia and into that Italian 22 again. Bourdon-Sansus nearly lost it on the pickup. Then gets it away, and Arbez with the step. And Kyler Arbez is away. And Kyler Arbez will score! In behind the Italians and taking full advantage at the start of this second half.
You feel like Ratier's told them to come out with pace. That's absolutely what they've done. You know, Bourdon-Sansus had to work hard to keep it in her hands after contact. It's tempo, some great carries from the forwards, really, really strong, and Italians having to work hard to stop that. And Arbez, lovely footwork. She had a busy first half, didn't she? It's nice to see her name on the scoreboard.
Certainly did. Playing well. She's the full triple threat, Arbez. Run, kick, pass. She was right on the shoulder for whatever Pauline Baudon-Sans-Souci was up to there. And she will stroke the conversion through the uprights. Just got the sense after that first 40, Kath Spencer, that if France could strike first at the start of the second half, well, it could spell danger for Italy. They have to respond now.
Oh, absolutely, and it has to be now. It has to be now. They need to think about, you know, these performance goals, those wanting to score tries. They can do it. They can't allow France to get a stranglehold onto this game.
Medea. Made the last one super competitive, right on the 10-metre line. Goes a little deeper for this one. Flung in from Grando. On for Champon. Baudon-Sans-Souci will field Barat, who turns up at first receiver, and then Vernier, and the pace of Grisey on the outside arc. Italy look to drag her forwards so that they can get in a good position for the turnover, but Medea was told to get out of that by the referee. Murray with the carry, then Baudon-Sans-Souci. Berthumieux involved on the link play. Arbez again. Barat. Angled in run from Feleau. Now they come again. Grando, Champon. Bitonci pushed away. Lazarco, lovely quick hands from Mathilde Lazarco. If Berthumieux could have got the next offload away, well, Italy might have found themselves in real trouble again. That's good from Elisa Giordano, and that's a great turnover from Francesca Scorbini, and she gives it back to the Italian skipper, whose tackle it was, allowed Scorbini in for the turnover opportunity. France were building up a head of steam there. Vecchini. Bitonci signals back to this side. She needs the depth. It was lost. Backwards, says our referee. Moyenbe's come straight through the middle of that. Counter-ruck is good, says the referee. Berthumieux looking at the weak shoulders, stepping inside, kept alive by Grando. Grisey, will she get there this time? The tackle is good and kept in field, and the flag goes up. We're into touch, but the game is beginning to come alive at the Stade des Alpes. Oh, and Grisey looks in quite some discomfort, and in fact the referee, I think, has had one look over there and asked for a bit of space.
It looks like her knee that she's clutching there.
Well, what an attack it was. Some great defence in there, some great turnover of possession of both sides.
It was, wasn't it? I was just saying, we spoke in the first half, didn't we, about the influence of that Italian back row. We had a Scorbini tackle, we had a Giordano turnover. You think, oh, this could be it, this could be it. And then again, you know, France get a turnover again, whip the ball away. Some lovely little touches from Berthumieux in there, the little tip on, the link play. A twist of the knee in that tackle. I mean, it was a good covering across by Italy again. They were forced to stretch wide. France has gone, you know, going touchline to touchline in this half.
Could just see as Ostuni Manuzzi ended up falling on top of Grisey. The knee has gone right through the side of the joint there. So that is going to have been pretty unpleasant. Let's hope that it's an overextension and nothing more, because Johanna Grisey is a world-class player. I mean, talking to Francois Ratier in the build-up to the Guinness Women's Six Nations, saying is an area of centre, perhaps one that France have not got consistency in, and he sort of said to me, well, it's going to be a little less consistency because we're going with another new partnership. He would hate to have to change it up again ahead of round two, but we certainly hope Grisey is okay. We wish her all the best.
Yeah, it's working well, isn't it, Vernier and Grisey, and you know, with their awareness of sort of coming in and using that space that wide.
We already had a little glimpse of Vernier and Rousset, and we'll be seeing a little more of it
Yeah, let's hope Grisey, the medics, can, work the magic. It's not looking great at the moment, is it? It's never nice to see the stretcher come out onto a rugby pitch. There was no foul play in that tackle. It was a rugby collision, a rugby incident, and any player accepts that injuries might happen. You never want it to happen.
Change also made up front for France with Brosseau coming on for Moyembe.
I was impressed with her, Nick, towards the end of that first half, beginning of this second half. Her carries have been really sort of influential, haven't they?
Brosseau is also no one to be messed with. Ilana Brosseau, the Clermont prop, coming on for a 28th cap. François Ratier spoke during the week about wanting his France side to show un peu plus de menace. A little more menace, a little bit more threat. Well, when you've got carriers, the likes of Moyembe, who can be replaced by people like Ilana Brosseau, you certainly get a bit of that. And that's before you're looking at the fleet of foot from people like Anaïs Grondeau.
We've got some more mobile forwards on that subs bench as well. The experience of Escudero, Correa, a really bright young talent, really mobile. Second row, back row.
The fans are out. The Pauline Bourdon sans sous hat mask. France, who finished second in the competitions for the 6th year in a row. Last year pushed England to the wire, lost out by a single point at Allianz Stadium. Of course, it was a 4th place finish at Rugby World Cup 25 after being beaten by the Black Ferns. And what about the class of 1982? The role that the pioneers across the women's game, Kath Spencer, are being recognised for in the growth of the women's game.
Yeah, and you said at the beginning we're all allowed a lump in our throat, and I definitely have one of those. It makes me feel quite emotional, particularly through the World Cup last year, and with occasions like this, respecting those players that certainly laid the foundations, that didn't get to play in stadia like this with the crowds, but it's because of them that we are now doing this. And it was really emotional, and what an amazing moment for those players to be out there, to be recognised fully in the French family, and to be cheered by this crowd, by this number of people in the stadium. I thought was just excellent.
When I grow up, I want to be Joanna Grisey, read that placard.
I love that.
That's the support for this French side as they put the pressure on Elisa Giordano and co on their own line. How they'd love to get the turnover. Champon goes in to get it. Grisey then onto the field as medics in the corner. Just wait to bring Joanna Grisey from the field. It's kept in. Barra on for Albers. Madia with the follow-up. Falraclo steaming into the centre of the field. Bourdon sans sous, they come round the corner. It's Vernier who gets it first. Muri, oh, it was Zargo. How they'd have loved a back three player on the outside. Kath Spencer, it was one of those pesky forwards.
What are you saying about second rows? Goodness me. Second rows have shown their pace quite well over the last couple of years or two. Do you think she had a one line on the try line? She's like, this is my moment, out on the wing. It was just at that shoulder, wasn't it? That's a really difficult place to catch a ball. Really, really tough. She'll be kicking herself.
She certainly is. Stade de Lausanne. Kira Zargo on a 7th cap.
The amount of times I held shape out on the wing, Nick, I thought I was doing my bit. I was probably knackered, but Zargo was doing it for a natural reason.
So much knowledge of these players amongst each other. Scrum's been pretty steady all day.
She's just asking the players to bring their feet forward. We saw Maris' foot slipped, went back. She was just a bit too long going into the scrum, which doesn't provide that stable platform that is required. But, good chat from Amy Barrett-Theron, just explaining that. But you're right, there haven't been too many resets up there in the scrum.
Italy still having to do it all in their 22. Manini with the carry. Bitonci. Now there is a penalty which might allow Italy to clear the lines. Andy Baratheon advises that there is a penalty advantage, but no surprise that as Arbez picks that out of the skies, we will come back for the penalty. France offside. Charlotte Escudero waits to make her introduction. 6-2 bench from France, incidentally. Hoping that the likes of Escudero can prove to be that number advantage in terms of extra forward grunt.
A lovely, powerful run through from Manini. Quick ball, and then Fadrighi right there. They would have practiced that on the training part. They know exactly where that ball's going, who the second pod's going to be.
Tirazago makes way. Escudero comes on. Now Escudero more of a back row player, so that might see Manaye Feleyu, I should say, move into the second row. Wait and see how that works out. In the meantime, it's Italy on the front foot. It's Medea from Bitonci, and sending that on for Scorbini, was it? Nothing on. Good shutting down of the outside channel. Giordano, Scorbini, Medea, sensing the chance to run, gets the offload away through the tackle of Vernier and Ostuni Minuzzi. Muzzo, haven't seen out of Muzzo with too much room to work in so far. Fadrighi, double hit of Vernier and Rousset. Midfield, Duca. Calfawi with the hit, and Escudero. Might have some numbers if they can continue to accelerate well into the contact. They certainly get that from Pilani. Escudero on the hunt from Maris. Got the offload away. Don't know how Vittorio Vecchini held on to it. Little ball back inside from Bitonci. Scorbini was on script. Now through the hands again. Manini, tackled by Falraclo. Turnover position and opportunity for possession is textbook from Assia Calfawi, and Pauline Bonan-Sansus wants to take the penalty and go quickly.
That's brilliant from Calfawi, wasn't it? You know, that's hard work. They're running around in his heat. She's done so many carries, been so many present, and she could get back on her feet and force that turnover. That's what the hours in the gym are for, the conditioning, the fitness, little moments like that.
Anaïs Grando with the break on the outside, but then turned over. Italy sent back from their attempt to burst into that French 22. Scoreless in the World Cup match between these two sides, or sorry, kept scoreless for Italy, I should say. So it's been a little while since they've scored any points against the French.
Italy a bit disappointed with their World Cup campaign, losing to that actually magnificent South Africa team. They would have targeted getting out the pool stages, so disappointment for them. They talked about bouncing back from that, reflecting on that.
From the penalty, the Italy line-out. Giordano. We ended up with 2 rugby balls there. That may frustrate Italy, who they stick with the same call. Giordano at the front. They might have thought about going to her. In the end, it didn't work out. Now it's been knocked on by Italy. France with counter-attack opportunity and advantage to play. Rousset on for Barra. A lovely little tip through for Marie to chase. Couldn't get hands on it. Ostuni Minuzzi was there, but it's still back with the French. Bonan-Sansus, Escudero. France looking for try number 3. Arbez on for Vernier. Pops up Arbez again. Kalfawi on the outside arc of an outside centre. Asia Kalfawi. In for, oh my goodness me! Ilana Brosseau. Well, the waves just parted for the Clermont replacement prop. Kalfawi on the outside, Brosseau on the tight line. France over the try line once more.
It's the year of the prop, isn't it? Props rocking up on the wing, their carries. Brosseau and Kalfawi will have a little nod to each other. What a great run. Again, you know, covered defence from Italy, but recycled straight through the middle. Awesome try.
Three tries on the board then. And Arbez will add 2 more points. France 19, Italy 0. Nine points for Carla Arbez so far. 2 conversions and the try, of course.
Kalfawi and Brosseau will be looking forward to video analysis, won't they? To be there for that moment.
How good was I? How good did it look?
It always looks slower on the video. It did for me, Nick. I've been waiting for this moment. I thought I'd sprinted on, you know, or done a massive hit and a tackle, and then is that it?
Change for Italy. Another one of the debutants taking her place on the field. Elettra Costantini. Valsugana Rugby Padova player, the 20-year-old who has played through the Italy under-20s and now gets a chance with the senior team. Into that second row.
A lot of excitement about Costantini and the impact that she'll have maybe in this game, but in the national team as a whole. As you say, she's been performing really, really well in Serie A. Some player of the match performances.
Stuni Manuzzi did well to take that with the pressure that was coming on her from the chasing French duo. Bertonci's had to go digging in for that under all sorts of pressure, was then taken out. Rannicini will serve away from Adia. Scorbini's not going to play too much rugby and just send it out down the back line. Now there's a bit of space for Francesca Granzotto to play in, and she chips it ahead, but it's out on the full. Just not quite hanging together for Italy that time.
Unlucky, just the execution not there. You can see what her intent was. She had a player with her to chase it.
Perhaps an indication of the situation around the depth for Italy at this moment. France able to ring a 6-2 bench, have the likes of Escudero. Still got new faces like Correa and Socchetta to come. Italy have certainly got Centurion Sofia Stefan able to come on, but is that a game-breaking change? What about a game-breaking kick? It's not going to stand for Grando. It'll go into touch, but the ambition's certainly there in the French back three.
Yeah, I didn't mind that kick, Nick. You know, making them turn around again, getting them back down deep into that 22. France have the control now, 19-0 up. The Italian line-out has not been going that well. They've lost 3 line-outs, and the ones they've won have been a bit scrappy.
So it's a 50-22, clarified from upstairs.
So, Nick, when I said I don't mind that kick, I said, yeah, I really like that kick, Nick. It was great.
There was a reason why. Of course there was. Yeah, super from Grando. So Veronica Medea is going to make way. Emma Stevenin comes on the day of her birthday, which she also shares with a certain Paolo Garbisi, to the day, the month and the year. In from Lazarco, brought down by Feliu. Now they transfer it to the hooker on the wraparound. Falraco, Bourdon Sansus, Brosseau is there again. Quick ball, Rousset. Italy screaming for defenders to get round that far side. Can they get there in enough number? In fact, they've turned it over. Bitonci sent it up for Vakini. How did France lose that? Great defence from the visitors. It's such a long way to go as Alele Bleu rings around the Stade des Alpes. 3 tries on the board, France. Bitonci for Italy. Hassled and harried at the back of that ruck all afternoon. Goes for the low trajectory clearance, but France will still have the line out in the Italian 22.
What a turnover from Italy. I was just about to say, you know, the magic happens when Fauraclo runs through the middle and the flare that, you know, comes off that, and then Italy getting in there, turnover on your line. Really, really good. But can they use that now to lift the momentum of this game and swing it back in their favour?
Voice of former England Grand Slam winner Kath Spencer, who is with us in Grenoble. Lazarko. The youngsters for France stepping up. Transferred back to the hooker. Not enough movement. Barrett-Theron tells Bonan-Sansus to use it. Little short pass for Rousseau. Penalty against Scorbini.
France kept that more a lot tighter. No errors, no mistakes there.
Yeah, that was let's stick to page 1 of Catch and Drive, wasn't it? Let's not worry about the advanced model that didn't quite work out first half.
Often, simple is best.
I suspect it may be a similar picture in a moment. France with their eyes on the 4th try bonus point in Grenoble. Driving towards the line. Lazarko, ball under the arm. Try scored. Bonus point secured. It's Assia Kalfaoui.
She's having a cracker of a game, I think, Nick Kalfaoui. Oh, it's a team try, isn't it, or a forwards try from that maul. Belayou, captain's job, lovely clean take, and they got that maul moving so quickly, absolutely solid. It's so difficult to defend. So difficult to defend. Just try and get players in there, try and disrupt it. Italy had no chance there. It was so controlled from France. Kalfaoui won't take it as an individual try, but I love seeing her name. She's carried, she tackled, she turned over, and now she popped up on the end of them all.
Two points from Arbez. France up to 26. 2 points more than when the teams last met in that World Cup last year. Change being made for Italy. Centurions, Defia Stefan. Defia Stefan coming on for Alia Bitonci, while France down below us have further changes. Rose Bernardou waiting to make her entrance, as is Chloe Correa and Alexandra Chambon, but we will have the next little passage of play first, which is Charlotte Escudero making the run. Oh, the juggle from Vernier, and then recognised not to chuck it because Stevenin had shut down the outside channel. Busy Bonan-Sansus. Good competition. Grando tried to get that. I think then a collision of players, and I think unfortunately we've had a momentary loss of consciousness there, perhaps. Two players going for the ball. Fair contest. Rugby incident. Yeah, Granzotto and Grando. Chance for Amy Barrett-Theron just to check in with our TMO Quinton Immelman. Granzotto
Now they've got their comms working, Nick. It's more straightforward for her. I think there'd be a few people questioning the decision not to go off HIA. I think now any uncertainty has to be checked.
Well, look, I'm certainly going to not suggest that my call from 50 metres away up in commentary is the appropriate one. The medics are down there. They would have spoken to the player. Maybe she needed just a breather. But you're certainly right. The initial looked like it was slightly more concerning.
It is difficult, you know, it's what's on this pitch right now is important to them, but also the kind of the welfare and safety of sport as a whole, and the messages that we send out as well, I think quite important too.
Emi Barrett-Theron clearly wanting to ask the question. And now in the backfield, medics just having a chat with Francesca Granzotto, and I think she is now being led from the field of play.
Good.
Gaia Busso wants to join the field. First Six Nations appearance then for Gaia Busso. A little hurried, a little unexpected. Sophia Stefan joined Toulon to play a rugby this season. Goodness, look at the penalty that France have won at the scrum. Devastating. They've skittled the front row as well.
What an impact from those bench players, Nick. Straight into that scrum. Best scrum we've seen from France all day.
Alessia Pilani, Vittoria Vecchini taking a good couple of minutes to get up there. They were monstered. Sophia Stefan is clapping the hands. She needs her team to stay in this. Tiani Feleyu with the take. Rifona, formerly of Ealing Trailfinders, of course. Another player from Grenoble. Arbez, recognising she was up against one of the back row forwards and fancied a little skip and a dance around Scorbini. Barra, well met. Ball came popping out. Oh, it's lovely offload. Outrageous from Chloe Correa on her debut for France. And they come thundering into the Italian 22 again. Arbez, Vernier, a little loose that time. Where's the space going to be? Escudero lurking wide as Muri came across. Chambon. Was that forwards? Referee right in line with it. Arbez, Vernier, space on the outside. Prop on the loose once more. Rose Bernardou getting the ball away. Chambon unable to make the most of it, but they keep it alive. More chances for France on the attack as Siobhan Soqueta takes it on. Another one of the debutants on the field for France. Then Feleyu. It just went forwards in the carry from the skipper. But some beautiful moments there. A few front rowers who we may have to investigate as members of the front row union for running in the loose like that.
I know what's going on, hey? But I love it. I might have to start a t-shirt line with props on the loose. It's that great, isn't it? I love the impact that Correa's had coming off the bench, her debut. She plays her rugby down in Toulouse, but her dad played for Grenoble. He's here in the crowd. What an amazing moment. It's like an emotional attachment for your first cap. He'll be loving that. She's had a couple of strong carries and that little inside pass as well. The confidence, love that. They used her off the short line now.
Confidence, filth, whatever you call it. It's lovely to see from the 22-year-old player on debut. Oh, sorry, 20-year-old player, as she will be on April the 15th. It's Chloe Correa, who is 22. Soqueta. Look at that. 130 carries for France to Italy's 110.
The metres gained, isn't it? Absolutely phenomenal difference. It's the how they're using the ball, not necessarily how often they've got it.
3 times as many metres, ultimately. Pelani has been replaced up front, and we've got another debutant for Italy, Chiara Kelly. And for a debut, the Rugby Colorno student, and Vittoria Zanetti, earning a third cap, plays her rugby in Lyon. In from Stefan, on to earn a 102nd cap for Italy. Manini has worked hard all day. Stefan, Ostuni Manuzzi. That was Giordano, in fact. Stefan, good length on the box kick.
Yeah, and good call to bring Stefan, wasn't it? I liked Bitoncic. Had a busy first 15 minutes, I would say, and had a bit of a quieter game, struggled to get hold of control of the game. Stefan, tons and tons of experience, if there's ever under-exaggeration.
Albers, Vernier, Escudero. Couldn't quite get the offload away because look who was in there causing a problem. Dinka, kick on the outside, inviting Bourdon Sansus to chase. Oh, that's a lovely little bit of footwork from Gaia Busso. Faced with two meeting her in a dark alley and smoked them both. Lovely. It's the carry from Zanetti. Treviso-born 21-year-old. Did make her debut against Scotland in 2024, so not her first appearance in the Six Nations. Now Barra swats away Chiara Kelly. Albers, Rousset kept it alive. Vernier, Muri fending into Dinka. Vernier there to help keep the momentum, keep the tempo that France want to play with now in this last quarter of the match. Fourth try, bonus point secured, the victory on the board as it stands as well. Right on the fingertips from France, it's Vernier again, then Barra, Rousset. They might have found a bit of room here for Champon, keeps it alive in field. It's just been lost, but we were playing an advantage.
We were playing an advantage. They're 26-0 up. They're going to go things like that, aren't they? Champon trying to keep it alive with that inside pass, which is a bit of a risk, but not in the context of playing advantage. They know they're going to get the ball back. Italy have had to play much this half, haven't they, in their own 22. Spectators the other end of the stadium having to get their binoculars out at this point.
Lisa Rifano to the tail. Champon, it's not straight. There's travelling reserves for France, incidentally. Anaël de Haye, Morgan Bourgeois. She's the top point scorer in the Elite 1, but no room in the 23 to face Italy. Koudedia Sissoko, Lina Kewa, Emily Boulard. They're not even looking at the likes of Nazira Condé. Italy, it's a little hairy at the front of the line out. Giordano for Stefan. Italy backline just looking a little lacklustre. I just had a little look over to them underneath the posts, and while they might know that it's the job of the forwards first, there just doesn't seem to be the liveliness. They don't look awake like they want it. Happy enough to just let Stephanie make the clearance, but sort of want them still to be asking the question.
Just being a bit more proactive rather than reactive, being that player that makes the difference.
Italy were dumbstruck in last year's championship. They had the tough opening loss to England in York, 38 points to 5. They then lost 54-12 to Ireland in Parma, their heaviest ever defeat. They did pick up wins against Scotland and Wales, finished 4th in the end. But they could do without their campaign starting with demoralising losses. And they're in their 22, defending again here. France on the charge, Bernardou. Slow ball, but it's there for Vernier. Arbez, they might have the numbers here. Barra, Léa Muri for the corner. Has the Italian defence done just enough? Or did Léa Muri find the turf? Oh.
Put it up, you know. So on-field decision is try.
This will show us.
Try, isn't it? She used her strength well, didn't she? To twist back over the other side.
So, Amy, I can confirm you can stay with the on-field decision. There's a clear grounding, no clear separation. All right, just let me know. I'll let you know once you're back on the screen. Amy, back on the screen.
It's a 6th try for Léa Muri in French colours. 7 tries in the Elite 1. And she's doing it for the national side. Tricky conversion as well is nailed by Carla Arbez, and France find themselves up to 33 now.
It's a fair call to go to the TMA, I think. Then sometimes I do like referees making the decision. She wasn't 100% sure. I think Amy Barrett-Theron is having a good game, Nick. She's risen to the occasion of her 50th cap. Very clear, very methodical, fair.
Well, all that Amy Barrett-Theron will want is to be a footnote in this encounter, such as the preferred role of the official in the middle.
Absolutely. I'll stop talking about her now.
No, she's had a good game. Certainly in the opening few minutes when they had those technical issues with the communication. But this is turning into a blowout now for France. 10 minutes remaining. Stéphane deals with the juggling ball from the line out. Oh, it's been ripped in the collision. Is it Vernier? You can bet your mortgage on it. Arbez, room in the backfield over the head of Bousseau. Ostuni Minuzi's worked really hard to get across there. Slightly rushed the clearance to touch, but it'll do. 24th Six Nations appearance for Vittoria Ostuni Minuzi on the occasion of her 45th cap. As Pauline Baudon-Sansus makes her way off the field. Arbez. That's a little loose. And that's the shove from Manini. Manini's lost it. Vittoria Ostuni Minuzi hassling and tackling Grando to the floor. Seems Vernier is just in now at playing scrum half. Seems to be the shift that we've seen, but Chambon is there now. Arbez. Not much time that time for Rousset. Oh, and Correa has just stayed down momentarily. Now France, room to play. Room to go down this side. Barra, Champon on the outside. Barra with a little chip ahead. Grando chasing. The bounce is good enough for Bousseau. dealt with it well. Stefan's having a look over the top of this rut, whether she fancies the kick. It's going to be an Italy scrum. The home fans whistling because one of their own, in Chloe Correa, is down. As we see, our colleagues at France TV offering the player of the match contenders: Calfawi, Falraklo, Grando and Barra. Well, only one of those is not a try scorer this afternoon in Falraklo. And Barra, apologies. Grando, who's been great, Barra, who's been everywhere. What's your gut feel on that, Kath Spencer?
I think that was a fair lineup, wasn't it? Arbez has played quite well. Am I allowed to say who I would choose?
Sure.
Yeah, I've got a big arrow next to Calfawi. I think she's had a really, really strong game. She's been really ever-present. Her work rate has been phenomenal in all aspects of the game. I've been really, really impressed with her. And that time after the second half, when they really need to step up a notch, that's when she really, really came to the fore. I've been very, very impressed with her.
Tight head, a real cornerstone of the scrum as well. She's got through 16 tackles. Only Lazarko is ahead with 19.
As we said before, it is the year of the prop. So, you know, come on, people. You know, you know who you should vote for.
In the rugby zodiac calendar, it's the year of the prop. France pulverising the Italian scrum at every opportunity. They do so again. It's just going to go against the head and be given the chance to play. Vernier on for Rousset. Dinka with another critical defensive intervention.
Well, that was a lovely pass out, wasn't it, to get that space?
Even with all of Sophia Stefan's experience, there's not a whole lot she can do to get that ball out of a scrum that's going backwards at a rate of knots.
Incredibly impressive from France, actually, isn't it? Italy's scrum is not too shabby. It's been an absolute strength of theirs over the last couple of seasons. Just couldn't do anything about that.
Immense. And a statement.
Yeah.
On the opening day of the championship. French skipper Fellio brings it down. It's back in the hands of Elisa Rifono. Chambon is there, if called upon, which she will be. Vernier, the pivot in the middle. Arbez hoping to just sneak her way around the back, but Manini was wise to it. Escudero being driven towards the line. Down they go, round the corner. Vernier hoping to be the one to punch through, but they've got numbers on the outside. It is going to be the try for Pauline Barra. And on debut, the two in the backfield, earning first cap for France. Grando earlier, and now Barra. It's France's 6th try. And it was beautifully worked.
It was lovely, wasn't it? Again, the platform from the forwards. Forwards and backs working hard to get round the corner. They had so many options, and Barra won't get many tries, much more straightforward than that. Just had to trot over. Lovely on her first cap again. This young back three have kind of proved the selection, haven't they?
Conversion is good from Arbez. It brings up the 4-0.
And it's important, isn't it, in tournament rugby, France will want to keep going and they will want to continue and get another try. Calfawi.
Your dreams have come true, Kath Spencer. Assia Calfawi is awarded the Guinness Women's Six Nations Player of the Match. There we go. It is the year of the prop. But interesting seeing the efforts of the back three for France, as you mentioned. You know, Léa Maury getting in for a try, as has Barra, as Grando. You know, Maury recalled, given an opportunity. Francois Ratier He's not dropping senior players to make a statement to them. He is merely rewarding the talent and the effort that he's seen through the Elite 1. And, you know, there's now a decision to be made ahead of round 2. Well, those players have got to step up if they want to be in it. And with the back three scoring 3 tries this afternoon, they're going to take quite some breaking down.
Absolutely. You know, does he keep that consistency in selection? Does he build this performance? Does he rotate it? I quite like a consistent team selection, personally.
France in trouble in their own goal line area for a moment here. We'll come back to your thoughts, Kath Spencer. It's going to be an Italy 5-metre scrum. Good hustle from Sofia Stefan, putting the ball in the backfield, causing a problem. And the chase eventually leading to this opportunity.
Big scrum for Italy then. They've been on the receiving end of huge power from France the last couple of scrums. It's even harder on your own ball as well, because the hooker can't put so much power through the scrum because they're hooking the ball. So you kind of lose a player.
Italy's scrum is under such pressure. Can they do anything with this? How quickly does Stefan need to get it away? They've held it brilliantly in the circumstances. Steven in, crossfield kick. Oh, it's high. It's a tough one to take, but it is going to be the finish, and Italy will score. Gaia Busso on her first Six Nations appearance and a 5th cap for Italy will ensure they avoid the bagel.
Busso's had to deal with a couple of tricky kicks on her own line. Good for her to be at the other end of the pitch, getting that score for Italy. They will take some heart from that.
Lovely from Manini, wasn't it, on the kick? The weight was perfect.
Excellent kick. Great vision to see that. And it came from the platform, from the scrum, which has been under pressure, so kudos to the Italian forwards.
And the position that was earned to them by Centurion Sofia Stefan. So it just shows, while Bitonci is there to give them the zip from the off, some of the game management from Sofia Stefan has been the world-class influence that has given them some points on the board. And the conversion bounces off the crossbar to give them the 2 points from Elisa Dinker. Italy get themselves the 7 points. Look at this. There you go.
Crossbar challenge.
She doesn't get 40 points for that, unfortunately. As much as Elisa Dinker might wish for that to be the case. Into in goal it goes. Aramuzzo will watch it all the way. Final minute of the match then. Do they want the restart? Do they want the scrum? Andy Barrett-Theron running through the options.
Go for the scrum. Last scrum was good. Retain that possession. Try and see if they can use this last platform. Options on both sides of the scrum, right in the middle of the pitch.
Away from Stefan. Dinker. Oh, that's nicely done. Getting it away from Muzzo. The play again. Kept alive. Back in for Stefan. Stefan working with Dinker to try and unpick something. Do something a little more imaginative. Tackle was solid. France in possession. Clock in the red. Carla Arbez knows what to do. 6 tries all in all. At half-time with the one on the board, it raised a few questions, but having got that first after half-time, well, we wondered whether the floodgates might open. The win for France, their 6th in a row in the Guinness Women's Six Nations against Italy, and gets their campaign off to a solid start. Their first match in victory under new head coach Francois Ratier. They'll come down from the Alps with momentum behind them as they head to Cardiff next week with every aspiration